Hello students, welcome to CR's digital classes. Today we are going to deal with the topic Williamson's synthesis or Williamson's ether synthesis. It can be called in both ways and it is one of the important reactions in organic chemistry, especially of the functional group ether. And it is the major most used synthesis reaction for ethers. Let us understand what are ethers first. So ethers are carbon compounds which contain two hydrocarbon groups which are attached to same oxygen atom. That means single oxygen atom is present. On both sides there will be alkyl or aryl groups or maybe vinylic groups also. Now such compounds are called as ethers and generally they are represented as ROR. Here R groups may be alkyl, aryl or vinylic groups. Alkyl, aryl or vinylic groups. And some examples, how are they classified and examples we'll see here. So how are they divided is the nature of hydrocarbons present. As oxygen is linked to two hydrocarbon groups, depending upon their nature, their ethers are classified. If the two hydrocarbon groups are same, identical, then they are called as symmetrical ethers. Suppose like CH3, OCH3. Now these two groups are same methyl groups. Such ethers are called symmetrical ethers. If there are different alkyl groups, like here it is methyl and here it may be, here it is methyl and here it is ethyl or propyl, then we can say those ethers are called as unsymmetrical ethers. That means unidentical alkyl or aryl or vinylic groups are present, then they are called as unsymmetrical ethers. So these are the examples. Now these are aliphatic ethers. That means straight chain groups are present here. On both sides of oxygen we can see straight chain groups are present. If aromatic groups are present, then they are called as aromatic ethers. Now this is a phenolic ether. Here one is methyl group and the other group is phenyl group. Here we have both phenyl groups attached to single oxygen atom. So these are called as diphenyl or diaryl ethers. These are aliphatic ethers and aromatic ethers. Now coming to the synthesis, how Williamson has discovered this reaction and what is Williamson's ether synthesis. The Williamson ether synthesis includes the reaction of alkyl halides with alkoxides and phenols in the presence of a base or a metal to produce ethers. That means here alkyl halides react with alkoxides and phenols. Alkoxides means like this, methyl of alkoxide can be written like this, methoxy group, methoxide ion or ethoxide ion. Now these are formed from alcohols. From methyl alcohol we get methoxide ion. From ethyl alcohol we get ethoxide ion. So these are alkoxides, generally called as alkoxides. This reaction was discovered by Alexander William Williamson in 1850. Now this is the major method, industrial method to synthesize ethers. On large scale, ethers are synthesized using this reaction. By using this reaction, we can synthesize both symmetrical and unsymmetrical ethers also. And this reaction is an example for SN2 reaction. And here the aldehydes, alkyl halides are used here. The alkyl halides may be primary and secondary halides are used generally. Now this is the general reaction. Alkoxides and alkyl halides combined together we get ethers and the byproduct formed is halide ion. Coming to the mechanism, here they have given few examples here. These are the examples of the reaction we can get. So here different substitutions, like this is a tertiary. Now this is a tertiary oxide ion, isopropoxide. Isopropoxide, like ethers groups groups can be branched also. Not only aromatic alkyl mixed ethers, here we can get both branched groups also can be synthesized by using this reaction. This is also an example for Williamson's ether synthesis. Let us go into the mechanism. It is a single step reaction, hence it is also called as concerted. Concerted means single step reaction. Concerted reaction. And the nucleophile attacks from the backside of the alkyl halide. Now, if the alkyl halide is smaller, that means the R group in the alkyl halide is small, the attack is easy. But if this alkyl group is larger, a big group is present like isopropyl group or any butyl group, they are larger in volume. So in case of these halides, alkyl halides, now that is called as steric hindrance, because the nucleophile cannot attack the alkyl halide easily due to the occupation, complete space occupied by the group, alkyl group present in the alkyl halide. Then the alkoxide ion will attack the beta carbon instead of alpha carbon. That means we can take the example of this compound here. This is also an alkyl halide. We can say it as ethyl halide. Here, now if this is a simple halide, there is no steric hindrance here because this group is a bit smaller. If this group here contains a branched alkyl group like isopropyl group, now this here we can get here CH2, CH3, CH3. Now this is a larger group. Due to this larger group, we have a steric hindrance on this carbon. So the alkoxide ion cannot attack properly, easily. So to prevent that, this is alpha carbon and this is the beta carbon. So to prevent this steric hindrance, the alkoxide ion can attack this carbon instead of alpha carbon. Even though then we can get required ether properly. Now this is about Williamson's ether synthesis. So the mechanism can be seen like this. The alkoxide ion, it is neutralized by the sodium ion which is present as it occurs in presence of a base. Now this alkoxide ion will attack from the back side onto the alkyl halide, and the chloride ion, immediately after the attack of the alkoxide ion, the chloride ion, any halide, chloride or any other halide, can be easily removed, forming the final product ether, and the sodium chloride is formed here in this case. In other reactions, suppose if it is not chloride, bromide also or iodide, anything can be formed. This is about Williamson's ether synthesis. Hope you understand it. Thank you.